Welcome back to the Crypto channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is hitting my exact technical price target for this bullish price pattern, which means I'm still currently in my Bitcoin long positions, both on BTNX and on 2bit, but I'm still currently in the long position on 2bit, but I have just closed a small portion of the long position on BTNX, taking some profits out of this trade right here, because we're now hitting the exact price target for this trade. So in just a moment, I'll be giving you an exact update on my trading strategy moving forward, showing you how I'm planning to make a lot of profits from the next move about to happen very soon, not just for Bitcoin, but also if we're taking a look at Solana right here, we're now breaking out above a crucial level on the price chart, heading towards higher price targets, along with XRP now technically confirming a bullish breakout from this triangle pattern, setting up a new bullish price target, potentially another major opportunity. So definitely watch this video from start to finish so that you don't miss out on any of this important information. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin price chart, and the super trendy indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. But of course, on this weekly Bitcoin price chart, technically speaking, we still have a bearish divergence to watch out for, which has not yet been invalidated. So technically, and over the last 1 to 2 months, this has resulted in a larger slowdown, just cooling off, but technically still within the larger bull market. And if we're taking a look at this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, as I've already been saying every day for over a week now on the channel, check any one of my videos over the last 1 week or so, and you'll see me saying that we're finally moving closer towards a new bullish crossover in the 3-day Bitcoin MACD, which indicates an increase in some short-term bullish momentum and most likely going to cause a short-term bullish relief. So more bullish price action, at least for now, just in the short term. And obviously over the last 1 week, we've already started to see this, and especially just over the last 1 to 2 days, starting to see this more and more, as I've been saying for over a week now. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, once again, as I already said days ago, this bearish divergence on the daily time frame has basically already played its part. No longer rely on the bearish divergence here on the daily time frame. Obviously already played out very nicely, but we're now on the bullish recovery stage out of this short-term bearish trend, which is more visible on the 4-hour time frame, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But for now, looking at some key levels to watch out for on the daily time frame, obviously we bounced from my exact area of support here in between 106.7k to 107.6k, acting as strong support, and we're just now confirming multiple candle closes, confirming a breakout above this key level right here on the price chart, sitting at around 113,500. So now expect support at roughly 113,000 to 113.5k if for whatever reason we see a little pullback or rejection. And the next key level of resistance to watch out for is at roughly 117,000, even just above 117,000. We have a lot of resistance based on previous price action in this Fibonacci level at close to 117,000. So keep that in mind. That could be coming up very, very soon for the price of Bitcoin. But if we actually break out above 117,000, the next critical level to watch out for is pretty much exactly 120,000. We've seen many rejections from pretty much exactly 120k. And then if we break out above that level, the next target would simply be the all-time high at roughly 124,000. And if we're taking a look at this 4-hour Bitcoin price chart, as I've already been saying for a while now on the channel, we're clearly within a short-term bullish trend here on the 4-hour time frame. Obviously, for the last few weeks or so, we were previously in a short-term bearish trend, forming lower highs and lower lows, but especially as of recent, and I've been saying this ever since we confirmed this higher low right here and this higher high right here in the price of Bitcoin, that was a change in the price structure, reversal signals from the previous bearish trend, flipping into now a new bullish trend. And so once again, every day since then, I've been saying we're now in a short-term bullish trend. Expect more bullish price action to come, at least in the short term. And obviously since then, that's exactly what we've now been seeing as expected. But we're now quickly approaching a key level on the price chart, once again at roughly 117,000. So it's possible we could find some resistance around here. But if we actually break out above 117,000, which based on the current trajectory could be likely, this could happen very soon. And so once again, if this happens, happens if we see ideally candle closes above 117,000 and actually holding above that level. In that situation, the next target is at around 120,000. And then, like I just said earlier, above 120K would be the all-time high at roughly 124,000. And if we're taking a look at this 4-hour Bitcoin price chart, like I've already been saying since all the way back down here, obviously the moment we confirm this breakout above 113,000, above this line of resistance here, that activated a bullish price target, which has been playing out ever since, which is sitting at around 116.5K. And as of recording this video, we have just now hit that exact price target and now starting to cross slightly above 116.5K. And so obviously, if you took this trading opportunity, which I've been sharing ever since the opportunity began, all the way back down here, congratulations, you should be making some decent profits right now, as I'm doing right now, as I've been sharing very transparently here on the channel exactly how I'm making money from these Bitcoin moves. And so currently, what started out as a $250,000 Bitcoin long position is now a $150,000 Bitcoin long position. So you can see that over the last one day, especially just recently, now hitting this price target, I have reduced the size of the trade, taking some profits off the table out of this long position, but not closing the entire trade. And so essentially using this trading strategy, let's just say if the price rejects from 117,000, I'm not saying that will happen, but if that were to happen, in that case, I've already taken some profits and I also have a stop loss sitting in profit. So even in the worst case scenario now, this trade is still very profitable. But ideally, obviously, if the price continues in the bullish direction, continuing the short-term bullish trend, and ultimately if we break out above 117,000, obviously I still have some of the trades still open so that I'll just continue to profit in the bullish direction if, of course, we break through this strong resistance here. And then potentially around this level, but especially closer towards 120,000 if we actually break through this level. At some of these other levels of resistance, like 120K, 124K, I may look to take a little bit more profits off the table out of this Bitcoin long position. Not financial advice, I'm just sharing what I'm planning to do with my own money. And so this trade right here over on my BTNX account is currently around 5,000 USD in unrealized profits and about 3,000 USD in already secured realized profits. And if we're taking a look at this 2-bit account, my 2-bit account right here, we can see that currently I'm still in this $100,000 Bitcoin long position, which I shared in my last video when the price was still at the entry, when the trade was basically at break even, barely in profits. I was showing this trade, giving you an opportunity that the price is still going to go towards the upside as a very likely scenario. And so that's exactly why I doubled down on this Bitcoin long position over on my BTNX account, once again opening a new long position on my 2-bit account, a $100,000 trade. So overall, currently I'm around $250,000 long on the price of Bitcoin, at least for now, and my 2-bit long position currently about 2,000 USD in unrealized profits. And so once again, here on this channel, I'm showing exactly how to make a lot of easy and quick profits in the crypto market, and there's more opportunities to come. So definitely stick around to this channel and stick around to the later end of this video, because there's a lot more opportunities starting to show up in the altcoin market. And so this is definitely the time to get set up ready to go on these exchanges, to take advantage of these opportunities to make a lot of easy profits in crypto. And so personally, once again, I'm taking this long position over on my BTNX account. So I'll make sure to leave a link to BTNX below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim massive bonuses, like for example, up to $25,000 in trading bonuses, which is only available using that link. And in case you're wondering, BTNX is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And if you don't want BTNX as an exchange, once again, my other Bitcoin long position, my $100,000 Bitcoin long position, currently about $2,000 in profits, is over on my 2-bit account. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video, and that second link below this video to 2bit will take you to this page right here, where there's currently a massive opportunity simply just by trading crypto, because 2bit is now opening up copy trading over on their exchange, and there's currently a $1 million funded account prize pool simply just by trading crypto, entering into this using that second link below this video. Once again, if you don't use that link, you cannot claim any of these extra bonuses here. And so simply just by trading crypto, you can claim major bonuses here. All of the links are below this video. All of the information on those links below this video. So once again, if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, like what I'm doing right now to make a lot of easy profits in crypto, definitely get set up, ready to go using the links below this video to these exchanges to take advantage of major trading and deposit bonuses. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is also a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and we can see that over the last one day, we exactly wiped out the liquidity that I talked about in my last video. And so obviously just yesterday in my last video, when the price of Bitcoin was sitting at roughly 114,000, I said it's extremely likely that very, very soon we're going to see another bullish move to take out this liquidity at around 115,000. And obviously we've now played out that exact move as predicted, and we're now actually hitting above 116,000. And we do have a small amount of liquidity building at around 116.5k to 117k. So it's possible the price heads just a little bit higher, most likely about to retest roughly 117,000. And then once again, it's possible we could find some resistance around there. So be careful around that level. And so once again, due to all of this information, I'm still overall long on Bitcoin because we're still in a short-term bullish trend despite already hitting this price target now, but just slightly reducing the size of this trade on my Bitfinex account due to the fact that we have hit the price target for this price pattern and we're approaching this major line of resistance right here, but still overall long on Bitcoin. And another reason as to why I'm still long on Bitcoin and looking for potential other long position opportunities for other crypto assets is due to the fact that the Bitcoin and crypto funding rates right now are not just below neutral, 0.01% is the neutral rate, they're actually flipping into the negative direction while we're seeing bullish price action, which is a classic textbook short squeeze. And obviously I talked about this in my last video before we saw more bullish price action, and I'm continuing to talk about it in this video before we're most likely about to see more bullish price action very soon. Because as I explained in more detail in my last video, essentially negative funding rates financially incentivizes the price of these assets. So Bitcoin, for example, to go towards the upside. This actually financially incentivizes traders to push the price towards the upside on these futures markets. And if you want more detail as to why that is the case, check out my last video. I explained it in my last video, but basically with the funding rate still negative, still below neutral for a lot of these crypto assets here, for a lot of trading pairs across a lot of different exchanges, this is still very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto, which is why, or one of the reasons as to why I'm still long on Bitcoin right now. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart on the 3-day time frame, while Bitcoin has a lot of those bullish signals, we're actually seeing a little bit more of a pullback in the short term, ultimately continuing the much larger pullback in the Bitcoin dominance on the 3-day time frame, which is actually very good news for the altcoin market. And so we could quite possibly be about to see a bit of an altcoin season like what we saw just here, for example. Obviously, when we saw this major dump in the Bitcoin dominance, that coincided with this major bullish move in Ethereum that we saw around 1 or 2 months ago approximately. So obviously if we see a dump in the Bitcoin dominance, especially if that's happening while the price of Bitcoin is relatively bullish, that is great news for the altcoin market. And so with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame right now, obviously in the short term, Ethereum is playing out a decent bullish move here, but we're technically still within this larger sideways price range, at least as of right now, sitting in between this support and this resistance. First of all, this support is still sitting at around 3.9k to 4.1k, and this resistance is still sitting at around 4.8k to 4.9k. But considering that Bitcoin is looking bullish in the short term, and of course the funding rates below neutral and the Bitcoin dominance experiencing another little pullback here, all of this is pointing towards some more bullish price action for Ethereum and really most of the altcoin market, a lot of the major altcoins. And so this now pretty much confirms the fact that this previous bearish divergence is now completely over. Obviously, I've already been talking about that over the last couple of days in my last few videos. I've been saying no longer rely on this bearish divergence right here. It already played its part very nicely, but we're now likely going to see more bullish price action here in the short term. And honestly, I'd not be surprised if in the coming days here, we actually see a retest of close to all-time highs at basically the high $4,000 area, 4.8k to 4.9k, closer towards 5,000 could be very, very likely in the next few days, especially if the Bitcoin dominance continues a bit of a pullback that will really help Ethereum and other altcoins. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the 2-day time frame, Solana is obviously now breaking out above that $230 level. Technically, we still need, for example, candle closes to actually confirm this breakout here above 230, but so far this is looking bullish. And obviously, as I've been saying for a long time, clearly the longer term trends, the larger price structure, still very much bullish right now. And so now that we're starting to see a breakout above $230, and especially if this confirms with the candle close above 230, in that situation, the next major target is at roughly $260. In between around 260 to 265 would be the next area of resistance I'll be watching based on previous highs in the price. And above that area, I'll be targeting around 290 to 300 as a significant area or level to watch out for. And obviously, as I've been saying every day since the moment we broke out towards the upside from this previous rising wedge pattern, I've been saying this is a major sign in strength, very bullish for the price of Solana. I've been saying that ever since we saw this first little candle close above this line of resistance right here, which that line was sitting at around 217 to 218. So basically from around $220 onwards, I've been saying Solana looks very strong right now. Expect more bullish price action. And so this simply is still the case for Solana, still looking extremely bullish. Now, obviously at some points, likely we're going to see a slight little slowdown or whatever. Obviously the price does not move in a straight line. It's normal to see those little slowdowns here and there, but clearly we're still within a much larger bullish trend. And I'd now expect around $230 to flip into new support in case we were to see any little pullback for whatever reason, but overall still looking very bullish, very strong for the price of Solana. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, technically speaking, despite what happens on smaller time frames, we still have that bearish divergence to watch out for, not yet invalidated on the weekly time frame. And even if we break out above all-time highs, forming a new higher high in the price, it's possible the RSI could still be sitting in lower highs, so keep that in mind. But that's a much larger signal on the larger time frames. If we're taking a look at the daily time frame, obviously we're continuing the short-term breakout above $2.90 and heading up towards my exact price target, which we're now exactly hitting at around $3.08. And so once again, every day since we broke out back above around 285 to 290, I've been saying it's extremely likely now we're going to continue a short-term bullish move towards $3.08 to $3.10. And it's possible we could find some resistance around here. But if we break out above $3.10 with confirmation, so at least a daily candle close above 310 and ideally holding above that level, in that situation, the next major target I'll be watching out for is sitting at around $3.30 to $3.35 approximately. So around these highs right here, if we first confirm a breakout above 308 to 310. And as for support, in case the price were to see any sort of rejection or pullback, expect a lot of support in between 285 to 290. And if we're taking a look at this daily XRP price chart, like I've already been saying over the last couple of days, we're already breaking out here, but we've now technically confirmed 2 candle closes and 1 strong candle close here on the daily time frame, well above this descending line of resistance, further confirming the breakout towards the upside for this descending triangle pattern. And as I've explained many times recently here on the channel, considering the fact that a descending triangle pattern historically is a bearish price pattern, considering that this is breaking out towards the upside, this is a sign of strength. This is very good news for the price of XRP, similar to how Solana broke out above a typical bearish price pattern, because statistically speaking, a rising wedge like what we have here for Solana on the 12-hour time frame breaks to the downside more often than it breaks out towards the upside. Around 2 times out of 3, it breaks out to the downside. About a third of the time breaks out towards the upside. So considering we're seeing the less likely outcome, this is a sign of strength for Solana, and I'm saying the exact same thing for XRP. This is a sign of strength now that we're actually breaking out from typically or historically a bearish price pattern. And so remember, it's possible we could find some resistance along the way towards the upside, like for example around $3.08 to $3.10, or especially around just above $3.30. It's possible we could find some strong resistance around those levels, which could possibly cause little rejections and things things like that. But with that being said, now that we've technically further confirmed this bullish breakout here, we now have an active bullish price target for this triangle pattern, which is sitting at just above $3.80, around $3.82 approximately, so just above the previous all-time high. And if we're measuring that move from where we are right now as of recording this video to that technical price target, that's well over a 20% move, almost a 24% move towards the upside, and that's with no leverage. And so just for example, with a 10x leverage long position, that would be around a 240% profit in that example, not financial advice. And so let's just say if you missed out on these Bitcoin trades that I've been taking over the last few days, there's potentially a massive opportunity on the table that is just now starting for the price of XRP. Once again, not financial advice. I'm just sharing these trading opportunities as they occur. And remember, as I said earlier and many times here on the channel, if the Bitcoin dominance continues a pullback, that's really going to help the altcoin market. So keep an eye on what the Bitcoin dominance is doing. If this is pulling back, that's really going to help XRP and other altcoins continue these bullish move towards these price targets here. And so once again, make sure you're set up ready to go using those links below this video to those exchanges to take advantage of major bonuses that are only available using those links to the exchanges that I'm trading on right now. And with that being said, taking a look at Chainlink on the daily time frame, and Chainlink is now breaking out back above this previous resistance, which was sitting at just under $24, around $23.90, and we're now about to test this resistance here, sitting at just above $25, around $25.20 approximately. And if the price of Chainlink further confirms a breakout above around $25, $25.20, in that situation, it's very likely we're about to see a retest of these highs just here, sitting at close to $27, around $26.80 to $27 is basically the area that I'll now be targeting as a major area of resistance, especially if we now confirm a breakout above $25.20. And if we're taking a look at this daily Chainlink price chart, obviously, as I talked about in my last video just yesterday, we're moving closer towards the invalidation of this bearish divergence. So no longer really rely on this bearish divergence any longer, because of course, with the rest of the crypto market, Bitcoin, for example, playing out bullish price action, along with the fact that the Bitcoin dominance is pulling back, that's really going to help a lot of altcoins, especially Chainlink and other large altcoins. And so that is simply the situation right now. Expect more short-term bullish price action, at least for now, especially while the Bitcoin dominance remains bearish. And of course, as I've been saying for a long time now, we're still within a much longer term bullish trend, larger bullish price structure, despite seeing the occasional short-term bearish trend or larger pullback during the much larger bullish trend. And so it's quite possible that this is ultimately just the continuation now of this larger bullish trend, long-term bullish trend. And once again, if you want to trade any of these moves to take advantage of especially what's happening in the altcoin market right now, definitely get set up ready to go using the links below this video to these exchanges that I'm trading on to take advantage of major bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how you can take these trades for yourself to make a lot of easy profits in the market like what I'm doing right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.